The next stop on our tour is the Monongahela City Trust Building. The Trust Company building was built in 1927 by the architectural firm of Morgan, French and Company from New York City. The exterior is finished with Indiana limestone, with granite at the base. The first floor of the building, together with a small mezzanine, was devoted to the banking quarters, the second floor to rental office spaces, and the third was occupied by the Henry M. Phillips Masonic Lodge 337. The interior was finished in white and cream, with mahogany paneling and office fixtures. The floors and the public lobby were pink Tennessee marble, while in the public lounge and the banking spaces, the floor was varnished cork in an attractive design. Partitions in the front of the teller's cages were of Italian Tavernelle marble. All metal fixtures and the heavy doors at the entrance were bronze. A comfortably fitted public lounge, just off of the main entrance, was provided for the use of the patrons. The vault was made by one of the largest concerns of its kind in the world, and had all the newest features available at the time. The Monongahela City Trust Company, the second oldest financial institution in the city, has occupied the same location since it was founded in 1870, as the People's Savings Bank that was organized by Adam Coon Sampson, James K. Logan, William M. DeVore, and John Barclay Finley. Soon after leaving school, Finley had become a clerk in the mercantile house of Alexander and Company, continuing with them until 1865, when they disposed of their mercantile interests and engaged exclusively in banking. Finley remained with them until 1870, when the People's Savings Bank was established and he was made cashier. When that bank was reorganized in 1880 as the People's Bank, Finley was elected president. It continued under that name until the organization of the Monongahela City Trust in 1901. Alexander and Company, the oldest banking house in Monongahela as a private institution, was founded in 1850. The firm began as a dry goods store and steamship agency in 1828, operated by Joseph Alexander, who was born in 1795 and was a pioneer resident of the city. As the town of Williamsport grew, merchants and farmers developed the habit of leaving their valuables in the safe there. In 1843, his oldest son, William J. Alexander, was admitted to the firm they then called J. Alexander & Son. Another son, James S. Alexander, joined the firm just prior to the Civil War in 1860. Upon the death of William J. Alexander in 1894, James's sons, William Heron Alexander and Frederick K. Alexander, were taken into the firm. Alexander and Company had long been one of the most solid banks in the state. By 1929, William Heron Alexander was also listed amongst the directors of the Monongahela City Trust. In 1931, when the trust company was 4 years old, there was a run on the bank, and Alexander and Company didn't have enough cash. They were holding so many bad loans by that point as a result of the lax policies that it ended up leading to foreclosures on 60% of the real estate in Monongahela. The trust company was supposedly more than 100% solvent, but the state used the Alexander family ties as an excuse to seize the trust company funds and apply that money to pay some portion of the accounts that the Alexander Bank owed. J.B. Finley had left $1 million to the trust company to serve as a charitable foundation for Monongahela. On October 5, 1931, the state came in and shut down 5 banks in one day. These 2, plus a bank in Bentleyville that the Alexanders owned, and 2 in Washington. This brought the Depression to Washington County. The board of directors of the Monongahela City Trust Company, which was closely affiliated in management with Alexander and Company, decided that fairness to all their customers dictated a policy of preserving the assets of the bank, and so it was closed and placed in the hands of the State Department of Banking. This sad notice appeared in the paper the same day. William H. Alexander, director of the Monongahela City Trust Company and part owner of Alexander and Company, a private bank, was found shot to death in his home last night with a bullet wound in his head, police reported. Unfortunately, Mr. Alexander's panic and suicide led to Monongahela losing its oldest bank, its trust company, and the Finley Foundation, all of which the state seized and ultimately gave to Pittsburgh National Bank.